I practice in litigation, primarily in public law. The very meaning of public law is the reason I chose that area of practice. It involves a variety of different principles, whether it's constitutional, charter values, administrative law principles, such as procedural fairness, official languages rights. It really also involves policy making. It involves decision of federal and government bodies. And all of that together is really what attracted me to this area of the law. All these cases are really interesting, but more importantly, they're cases that matter. I mean, they go well beyond the parties and the litigants that are involved in each of these cases. They affect the community in a broader sense. The perfect example of that are the public inquiries that I've been involved in, whether it's the work that I did in the aftermath of the Gomery Commission or the current inquiry, the Elliott Lake Commission of Inquiry. And there's also all the cases that I've worked with at the Supreme Court, intervening on behalf of public interest group on issues of national importance, healthcare. So they affect really more than just the clients that I represent. When I think of mentors, really I think about all the different mentors I've had during my 9 years as a lawyer. I mean, I was really fortunate to have a variety of formal and informal mentors, whether it's the Honorable Michel Bastarache, who I clerk for at the Supreme Court, or David Scott, BLG's chairman. I had a variety of different people that really helped me during my career. In the last few years, I've worked really closely with two individuals at BLG, Guy Pratt and Peter Duty, and both of them really imparted on me really valuable advice. Coincidentally, the advice that both Guy and Peter provided to me is advice that my parents, the first mentors in my life, told me about. And that is preparation and hard work. So when you think you've achieved the ultimate preparation, you have not. Keep on preparing, leave no stone unturned. In addition to that, another fundamental key piece of advice that Peter and Guy provided me is the fact that you need to be the best litigator you can be. It's not about being the best tax litigator, the best public law litigator. It's really the best advocate. And to try to always, every time I get a new file, be successful at really arguing for my client the case. It doesn't matter, whether I need to be better in that specific area of the law. There's kind of two things that come to mind when I think about pro bono and volunteering work. The first one is the pro bono work that I and the people at the Ottawa office of Borden, Ladner, Gervais, we've been giving to veterans with respect to their benefit claims in front of the Veterans Review and Appeal Board. So these are clients that have been unsuccessful in front of the board and come to us basically for advice to try to challenge the decision of the tribunal and assisting them in bringing a case before the federal court. I mean, there's nothing like these kind of clients. These are clients that have given so much to their country and now can't even basically access justice because they're not able to afford it. So these are really the most important clients. The second kind of activity that I think about in terms of volunteering is the work that I've been doing for the past 9 years for Citizen Advocacy. It's a not-for-profit organization in Ottawa that provides basically services for people with disability in the form of a buddy matching system. So the work that I do for Citizen Advocacy is really kind of a big part of my life. In fact, I don't even consider it work. When I think of challenges, it reminds me of me being back home in Edmundston, New Brunswick, being a young child thinking of going into law. Frankly, even when I was in law school, when I think back to those times, I never imagined that I would be where I am right now. I mean, my plan when I was in law school was to go back home in New Brunswick, open my small town shop, and just have a general practice. And here I am now kind of giving advice to clients in both French and English. It was definitely a challenge coming from a Francophone community with little English, experience to now being someone that's fluently bilingual, giving advice to clients, in these public law cases and in the national, in the nation's capital of all places. Frankly, I never imagined that I'd be looking out the window every day seeing Parliament Hill. So, I feel like this is something that I've achieved.